Hi, my name is Sierra, and today I'm going to show you how I made this crochet Pottery Barn inspired ghost pillow. So to get started, we are going to need our yarn. I'm using Tender Touch and Snow. And I'm also using my 5mm hook, which is an 8-8. So here I'm creating a slip knot. We're going to place that on our hook, and we're going to chain 52 stitches. So now that we've chained 52 stitches, we're going to work in the third chain from our hook. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook in that third chain from the hook, yarn over again, pull up a loop. We're going to have 3 loops on our crochet hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So we're going to repeat that again into our next stitch. And we're going to just repeat the yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. You'll repeat that all the way down the length of your chain. Now that you have your 50 half double crochets, you will chain 2 and turn your work. Your chain 2 never counts as stitches in your rows, so make sure you do not work into them. Half double crochet right into the last stitch that you worked on your row. You will repeat this pattern for 32 more rows, ending with 34 rows total. So just continue on in those half double crochets until you reach row 34. Now that you've completed all 34 rows, your piece will measure about 12 inches long and 16 inches wide. Yours might differ depending on your tension. So now you'll fold your piece in half with the front of your work folded inside. You'll slip stitch into the opposite side of your work from the last stitch you worked and slip stitch all the way down the sides. Once you've done your last slip stitch of the side, should be secure. Now you can flip it inside out. You've created a nice little seam along the back of your pillow. Now you'll want to leave a long yarn tail for sewing. You'll cut it and pull it back through that loop to bind off. So you'll use your yarn needle to weave in and out of those stitches, just underneath, in and out, so that you can pull it tight and cinch the whole piece together. You'll pull tight, it'll close that hole, and now you'll tie a knot. And you'll want to weave back around the opening because it won't close it completely. You want to weave back in to the opening, and that'll just pull all those top stitches together and it'll close that hole completely. So now that we've closed one side of the pillow, we're going to fill it with toy stuffing, and then we'll repeat the exact same thing on the other side to close that side. Use as much stuffing as you'd like until you reach the look that you want and the firmness that you're going for in your pillow. So now you'll cut a piece of yarn and attach it to your work. So you'll get your yarn needle now, and you'll repeat the steps from the other side and weave in and out of those stitches and close the hole the same way. Once you're done, you're going to weave your needle into your work and pull it out, pushing that yarn into the center of your pillow. I want to go a little bit further with mine. And once I do that, I'm just going to pull the needle back out and cut the yarn. Now you've completed the pillow part of this project. So now we'll start the blanket part of our project. You're going to create a magic loop. You can look up a tutorial on how to create a magic loop if you need a more in-depth video of it, since I didn't focus on it well here. I'm not great at explaining it, so I'll just show you how I did it. Other people have other videos where they do a great job of explaining on how to do a magic loop. Once you do your magic loop, you're going to chain 4. Now that you've done your chain 4, you're going to double crochet into your magic ring. To double crochet, you'll yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. And you will create 4 double crochets here. Now you should have your chain and your 4 double crochets, and we are going to do a triple crochet. Make a triple crochet by yarning over twice, inserting your hook into the magic loop, pulling up a loop, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. Now you'll make 4 double crochets, Now that you have finished those 4 double crochets, you're going to do another triple crochet. Pull that little string out so that it doesn't get hidden underneath, because that's how we're going to tighten the magic ring at the end of this. So you'll create your triple crochet, and then we're going to do 4 more double crochets. Do another triple crochet, and you'll do your last 4 double crochets, meeting back at that chain 4 spot. So now you're going to want to take that little tail and you're going to want to pull it really tight, and that will close the center of the magic ring. Now you should have 20 stitches. So now you'll slip stitch into the top of that chain 4 stitch. To start off your second row, you're going to chain 4. And then you'll double crochet right back into the same opening as your chain 4. Create 2 double crochets going into this exact same stitch. So now you're going to want to double crochet into every single one of these stitches until you reach the corner stitch. So the corner stitch will be the stitch that was your triple crochet. So now that you've done all of your middle stitches and you've reached your corner, you're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 triple crochet, and 2 more double crochets all into that same corner stitch. I accidentally cut the video off after the triple crochet in this corner, but you'll do 2 more double crochets after you do the triple crochet. So after that, you're going to double crochet into all the middle stitches until you meet back at the corner, and you repeat the exact same thing. Now you should have repeated that pattern until you met back at that chain 4 stitch. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into that same starting chain, and you're going to double crochet twice. And then slip stitch into the top of your chain. You should now have 36 stitches. So for the third row, you're going to chain 5. You'll insert your hook back into the base of that chain 5 and double crochet twice. Now you'll double crochet in all 8 of the middle stitches until you reach the next corner stitch. A tip that I have with this blanket is to always count your work as you're going, because it's really easy to miss a stitch and not notice it until you're on the next round. So make sure that you are always counting your stitches. So here we're going to go into the corner stitch and we're going to double crochet twice. We're going to chain 2 stitches. And we're going to make 2 more double crochets into that same stitch. You'll repeat this pattern all the way around until you meet back at that chain 5 spot. Now that you're back at that chain 5, you're going to double crochet once into the base of that chain 5 spot, and then you're going to use that chain as your second double crochet and then your chain 2. So you're going to have 2 chains at the top. You will slip stitch into the 3rd chain down. I forgot to show it on camera, but you will slip stitch right into that chain 2 opening. Make sure you do not forget this because it will hold your piece together at the corner. Now you should have 48 stitches and 4 chain 2 spaces. Now you're going to chain 4, and you're going to work 2 double crochets into your chain 2 space. So now you'll work 12 double crochets until you reach your chain 2 space. Now that you've completed the middle double crochets, you'll be at your chain 2 space. So into your chain 2 space, you're going to double crochet twice, make 1 triple crochet, and double crochet 2 more times. You repeat that pattern until you reach the end of your work back at that chain 4. So now you're back to where you started. You'll double crochet twice into that chain 2 opening. And slip stitch into the top of your chain 4, and then we'll end this row. You will continue alternating between rows, starting the next row with a chain 5, switching off between chain 2 spaces rows and triple crochet rows. You will continue working in this way until you reach 21 rows, ending on a chain 2 row. Your piece should now measure 24 inches, making it so it completely covers your pillow insert when it's laid on top. So for your last row, you'll insert your hook into your chain 2 space. I messed up, so ignore what I do here and make a half double crochet. Then you'll make 2 single crochets into the chain 2 space as well. Now you'll single crochet into every single stitch until you meet the corner again. Once you get to that corner, you're going to do 2 single crochets, 1 half double crochet, and 2 more single crochets. And then continue that pattern until you reach the very end. Now that I'm back at my starting corner, I'm going to single crochet twice into that chain 2 opening and then slip stitch into my beginning half double crochet. Pull your yarn through that last loop, and that's how you'll bind off. Leave a long tail for weaving in and cut the yarn. So to start on the eyes, I'm using this Second Chance yarn by Yarn Bee, and I'm using a 5mm hook. So make a slip stitch and place it on your hook and chain 5. So now we'll work into the second stitch from our hook. Single crochet in every stitch till you reach the end of your chain. Now that you've finished that 4th single crochet, you're going to turn your work and work right back into the bottom of that stitch that you just single crocheted. We're going to work all the way along the back side of the stitches, creating 4 new stitches. This will give you 8 stitches. So from here, you're going to work right back into that first single crochet, and you're going to make 2 single crochets into that stitch. And then you'll work 3 stitches single crochet, so once you've done those 3 single crochets, in the next stitch, you're going to make 2 single crochets into the same stitch, creating an increase. Then you will single crochet 3 more stitches, meeting back at the beginning. You'll now have 10 stitches in your round. I made the mistake of cutting my yarn too short and having to attach more yarn later, so leave a long tail for sewing these eyes onto the body. Repeat these steps over again to make your second eye. I attached my eyes where I wanted them with stitch markers. I did 5 rows down and placed each eye's center 7 stitches from each side. So now just using my yarn needle, I weaved into the eye, through the blanket, and back up through the eye over and over again until it was secure. Now I'm flipping over my work and tying a knot to where I originally started sewing. I just tied a couple knots to make sure that the eye was nice and secure. Now just repeat the same steps to attach the second eye. So now we'll attach the blanket and the pillow. So the stitches on the blanket that I used were my beginning stitches of my magic ring. So those are the stitches I'm going under to connect the blanket, and then I'm going through random loops on the pillow to connect it kind of evenly throughout. Now that I've met back at my starting yarn, I'm going to go back in one more time, and then I'm going to tie the two pieces together in a knot. Now I'm going to flip it over and see how I like where it's laying. There were some places that were a little bit tight where I sewed it on, so I kind of just pulled those till I got the desired look that I wanted. Now your adorable ghost pillow is complete and you can enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this video.